Tonight you can see a great guy, comedian Andy Andrist. He studied the craft working with one of the best, Doug Stanhope. Andy spent 2 seasons at Comedy Central as a writer for Doug and The Man Show, legendary television, and he's now breaking out as a headliner in his own right. He makes no secret that, like Doug, he enjoys a late-night life fueled by plenty of cold beverages. Or if they're not cold, I guess they're probably still useful, right?
Warm, too.
Yeah. You're wearing a camouflage cap.
Right. It's actually a Converse, but it looked like some sort of third world hat in case things get bad here.
Are you a big city guy, or you look more like a rural guy?
No, I live in Eugene, Oregon, so it's a couple of steps down from this metropolis.
Great town, though. I love Eugene.
Yeah, it's it's a very earth friendly kind of people, but I like the Earth first is a theory, but you go anywhere in Eugene and you run into the worst smelling hippies that they want you to sign their petition for something, or I took my daughter to a public swimming pool, and a hippie woman jumps into the pool. It's a kiddie pool, and my daughter's real little. And she had overhang, in the suit.
What's overhang?
Well, it looked like her wig blew off at first. Oh my gosh, and it's coming from under her swimsuit.
Oh, overhang.
Swim. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. I'm trying to be tactful.
It looks like moss growing on an underwater log.
Like a sea anemone that broke loose of the tide pool, and my kid's pointing right at it and says, "What's that?" And I didn't want to tell her that's a woman who loves the planet. I said, "I think she's drowning kittens. Let's get out of the pool." So yeah, we got you deal with that, and I'm a raccoon trapper, not by trade but by circumstance. I own property, and I got serious about.
You got acreage in Eugene?
Well, what's considered acreage these days is like a quarter gram acreage. But I have a half acre.
Half acre of land, but it's rural, and you got raccoon problems.
Yeah, and all the raccoons that are from the areas of development are coming back to my yard. If you've ever trapped them, you have to take them like 50 miles away to the woods. And I don't even take friends to the airport. Gas is $4.30 a gallon. I'm not going to road trip with a raccoon. I'll take it where I'm going and let it loose. Like Costco's a good place. Follow one of the people with the dog food. You'll be happier there. But they come back, which is why you're supposed
That's right. Raccoons come back. And if you just take it to Costco,
right.
it might have an LCD plasma screen on its back, but it's coming back.
Right, yeah. He's got the GPS I need. Someone dropped it. They come back, and I had one that was really tough, and he wouldn't get back in the trap, but he was drinking. Do you have slugs? You got it.
Yeah, all over my backyard.
We put out beer for the slugs because they eat our plants, and that's not cool either. You own your land or they own it. So we kill the slugs with beer, and then the raccoon would come around late night, after the midnight show, and drain all the beers with the slugs, which is fine, but that gets expensive, to feed a raccoon a 6-pack of Oli. It's like Uncle Earl came back to life or something. But he wouldn't get in the trap. I even started putting one more beer in the trap, thinking, last call, he'd stumble in there.
Oh, wait a minute. Are we trapping slugs or raccoons at this point?
Well, the raccoon was drinking the beer, so...
okay. So
I figured that, through
you'd lure him back in the trap with a beer.
Yeah, and he...
What are you supposed to put in a raccoon trap? I thought it was meat.
Dog food or just like garbage.
Meat. Yeah, okay.
They're not picky, but they wouldn't... Once they get taken to Costco, they're pretty savvy to the whole, Wait a minute.
Once they've had the sample, lady.
Hey, wait a minute. That's the third raccoon I've seen at this train. So now I understand we talked a little politics this morning. I understand you're not a big fan. Of course, you're from Eugene, Oregon. You're probably not a big fan of the Bush administration.
No, they did. I mean, the more you hear about it, the more you're just like, really? I don't know. Maybe waterboarding will be accepted somewhere down the road. Maybe corporations will use it for motivation. But it seems like some of those Rambo movies are going to have to be reshot where the Americans are doing the badass torturing. Because I just think whatever, Obama could be the Antichrist, but after 4 or 8 years of Bush, Antichrist would be an improvement. So, and I don't think he is. I'm not saying that.
Not at all. Could be better days ahead.
I used to like McCain, and then I didn't.
You're
like
very
him.
Mainstream. I'm getting
right. I used to like McCain, and then I didn't. And then I heard that clip of him calling his wife the C word in front of reporters, And she took it, and I was like, "Wow, that guy could be a good leader." I can't imagine Obama getting away
trying
with
to.
that.
Was that a real clip? I didn't hear about that.
Cindy, is that what he called her?
No.
That's her name.
No.
She said and he also called her a trollop in the same sentence. So it's a little old school, a little new school, and that's what we need.
Somebody can speak to both the generations. Yeah.
Now, you're a dad.
Yes, I have a daughter.
You have one kid?
A daughter
Yeah,
that I know of. Yeah, of course.
And your wife and you live in Eugene?
yeah.
You're still with your wife?
Yeah, I know.
That's good.
It's weird that way. Because most people assume you're just,
Single. If you're
after they hear you talk for a few minutes that you burn all the bridges. Did you get a good divorce settlement? Are you living in your car?
So you have a fairly relatively normal family.
I do, yeah. Stanhope used to talk about the picket fence, that I had a picket fence life on one, and then, the dark secrets, which aren't that dark, compared to your average congressman or preacher.
For a comedian, you're pretty normal in there.
Right, yeah. I sit in the bathroom stall with my legs close together, No problems that way.
Glad to hear it.
That's good to know.
So has your daughter ever been to a show, or does she know what Daddy
but one
does?
time I mean, when I get mad at people in traffic or whatever, she gets little hints of it, those rants that are unscheduled or, So one time she asked me what I did, and then she said, "Do you just get up and blather in front of people?" And I said, "Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it." How certain times where it's better than others, but yeah, if you keep talking,
Something.
dramatic
Something will fall out eventually. That makes sense.
Right.
So
but
now,
sometimes people get upset too, and it's like you do a comedy show and it's billed as offensive, and then they'll get up and leave. It's like, well, what did you want me to be offensive about? Give me a shot, I'm sorry.
if they leave an offensive show that was billed as offensive, you think you didn't deliver.
And when they leave, another satisfied customer.
Your goal is to have nobody left at the end of the set. You've done your job.
Right. You don't come out of a haunted house laughing.
Andy Andrist. Andy, that's an interesting name. Is that Scandinavian?
I think, it's a Scandinavian. We're a Norwegian trash or some variation. Maybe we turned trash when we got to America. You know how it is. Get to a new place. One thing leads to another.
From Eugene, Oregon. In town, headlining the first midnight show ever.
And second midnight show, if the
first one doesn't close the place.
I mean, I don't look too far ahead.
And you'll also be performing on the bill in the earlier shows.
Yes.
Andy,
the clean version.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you, Bob.
Really a pleasure.
To meet you
and we
guys.
heard all the clean stuff today, right? I mean, for the offensive stuff, we have to show up.
Stuff. Like I have a bit about Kiko the whale that turns offensive, but it wasn't me; it was Kiko. I can do the family-friendly version, but what happened
Kiko was in Oregon, right?
What happened to Kiko the whale?
Well, I got the long part of it was just the white trash was there for the final Kiko appearance, but we got there and Kiko's we got wedged in the front, and Kiko's drops down, and then a hole opens up, and then it's like a chain coming out, and it was Kiko's penis. Like he's flashing his penis.
I heard this is a real story. I heard about that. Yeah.
Well, he did it a lot. That's what he did in Mexico City before the whole Disney thing. They didn't research it enough.
He bit their star.
Yeah,
Andy
that's what
Andrist.
happened. He got kicked out of the thing, and they didn't free him.
Well, the mule kept complaining.
Well, if you're too offensive for Tijuana, that should be a signal. Thank you, Andy. Very nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you.